what's worse than failing? Successfully living someone else's life because you doubted your ability to live your own. Every day I watch brilliant minds settle for mediocre lives, passionate hearts settle for lukewarm relationships, and extraordinary potential settle for ordinary existence. Not because they tried and failed, but because doubt convinced them that settling was safer than striving. Your doubt isn't wisdom. It's fear dressed up in a business suit, pretending to be responsible while it slowly suffocates your dreams. When was the last time doubt stopped you from taking action? That crucial moment when your dreams were within reach, but that small voice inside whispered, "What if you fail?" And you listened. Let me tell you about doubt. It's not just a feeling. It's a thief, a silent assassin that kills more dreams than failure ever could. Because failure teaches us. Failure makes us stronger. But doubt prevents us from even trying. I've spent decades studying human potential, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that the greatest tragedy in life isn't failure. It's the countless dreams that never even get a chance because doubt murdered them in their cradle. Think about the business you never started, the relationship you never pursued, the book you never wrote, the life you never dared to live, all because doubt convinced you that you weren't ready, weren't worthy, weren't good enough. But here's what's fascinating about doubt. It's a liar, a masterful one. It presents itself as wisdom, as prudence, as rational thinking. It disguises itself as protection, making you believe it's keeping you safe. But safe from what? Safe from growth. Safe from success. Safe from becoming everything you were meant to be. The human mind is remarkable. When we're young, we don't know enough to doubt ourselves. A child learning to walk doesn't think about the physics of balance or worry about looking foolish. They just try, fall, get up, and try again. They fail their way to success. But somewhere along the way, we learn to doubt, we learn to fear, we learn to limit ourselves. Consider this, every major breakthrough in human history came from someone who refused to listen to doubt. Every invention, every discovery, every step forward happened because someone said, maybe I'll fail, but I'm going to try anyway. The Wright brothers were told that human flight was impossible. Every expert, every scientist, every rational mind said it couldn't be done. But they didn't let doubt win. They didn't let the fear of failure stop them. They kept working, kept trying, kept believing, and they changed the world. But doubt isn't just about the big things. It's in the small daily decisions too. It's in the moment you want to speak up in a meeting, but stay silent. It's in the gym membership you buy, but never use. It's in the dreams you only talk about in the past tense, as if they're already dead and buried. Let me share something powerful with you. Doubt has a schedule. It shows up precisely when you're about to do something important, when you're about to make a change. When you're about to grow, that's not a coincidence. That's doubt doing its job, trying to keep you exactly where you are. But here's what most people don't understand about doubt. It's not trying to protect you from failure. It's trying to protect you from change. Because change, any change, means leaving your comfort zone. And your mind, programmed for survival, interprets that as danger. Think about your comfort zone like a thermostat. When things get too hot, when you start pushing boundaries, taking risks, growing, doubt kicks in like air conditioning, trying to bring you back to your preset temperature, back to what's familiar, back to what's safe. But growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Success doesn't live there. Your dreams don't exist there. They live in the space beyond, in the unknown, in the uncertain, in the uncomfortable. The most successful people aren't the ones who never feel doubt. They feel it just like everyone else. The difference is they've learned to recognize it for what is, a signal that they're moving in the right direction. They've learned to interpret doubt not as a stop sign, but as a green light, not as a warning, but as a challenge. When doubt whispers you can't, they respond with watch me. When it says you're not ready, they say I'll learn as I go. When it says you might fail, they say, so what if I do? This isn't about ignoring risk or being reckless. It's about understanding the difference between rational caution and irrational fear, between thoughtful planning and paralysis by analysis, between preparing to act and using preparation as an excuse never to begin. Look at your life right now. Look at where you are versus where you want to be. How much of that gap exists not because you tried and failed, but because doubt convinced you not to try at all? How many opportunities have you missed, not because you weren't capable, but because you weren't confident? The truth is, doubt is a bigger dream killer than failure could ever be. Failure only stops you once when it happens. But doubt stops you 1,000 times before you even begin. It kills dreams in their infancy, before they have a chance to grow, to develop, to become real. The most dangerous thing about doubt isn't its presence, it's how reasonable it sounds. It comes dressed in the language of wisdom. Be realistic, it says. Think this through. Consider the risks. And while these sound like prudent thoughts, they often mask a deeper fear, the fear of leaving our comfort zone. Let me share something profound about the human mind. We are hardwired to overestimate risks and underestimate our capabilities. Our ancestors survived by being cautious, by avoiding unnecessary risks. But we live in a different world now. The risks that hold us back aren't physical dangers. They're psychological barriers. Every day, people just like you overcome seemingly impossible odds. They start businesses with no experience. They change careers in their 50s. They learn new languages, master new skills, build new lives. Not because they don't feel doubt, but because they refuse to let doubt have the final say. Think about your own life for a moment. Think about the times when you pushed through doubt and took action anyway. What happened, even if things didn't work out perfectly? Didn't you learn something valuable? Didn't you grow stronger? Didn't you prove to yourself that you could survive outside your comfort zone? Here's a powerful truth. Doubt feeds on isolation. It grows stronger when we keep it to ourselves. When we share our dreams, when we speak our fears aloud, when we connect with others who understand our journey, doubt loses its power. It can't survive in the light of shared experience and mutual support. But there's something even more insidious about doubt. It's contagious. When we let doubt stop us from pursuing our dreams, we don't just hurt ourselves. We unconsciously give permission to others to do the same. We become living proof that doubt wins. That dreams are just fantasies, that playing it safe is the only sensible choice. Consider this. Every time you let doubt win, you're not just affecting your own life. You're affecting everyone who looks up to you, everyone who might have been inspired by your courage, everyone who might have found the strength to pursue their own dreams by watching you pursue yours. The cost of doubt isn't just personal, it's generational. When we let doubt stop us, we pass that legacy of fear and limitation to our children, our colleagues, our communities. We perpetuate a cycle of unrealized potential that can span generations. But here's the good news. Just as doubt can be contagious, so can courage. When you push through doubt, when you take action despite your fears, you become living proof that it's possible. You become a beacon of hope for others who are wrestling with their own doubts. Think about the dreams you're holding back right now, the goals you've pushed to someday, the changes you know you need to make but keep postponing. What would happen if you decided right now that doubt no longer gets a vote in your decisions? I'm not suggesting you'll never feel doubt again, you will. But what if you change your relationship with doubt? What if, instead of seeing it as a warning to stop, you saw it as a sign that you're growing? What if you started treating doubt as a compass pointing toward your growth edge? Here's a powerful exercise. Write down your biggest dream, the one that makes your heart race, the one that doubt has been keeping you from pursuing. Now write down every doubt you have about achieving it. Every what if, every reason why you think you can't. Look at that list of doubts. Really look at it. Notice how many of them are based on fear rather than fact. Notice how many are about what others might think. Notice how many are really just excuses dressed up as reasons. Now, imagine what your life would look like 1 year from now if you decided to pursue that dream despite those doubts. Imagine looking back and realizing that those doubts, which seem so convincing, were really just paper tigers, scary on the surface, but ultimately harmless. The truth is, most of our doubts are based on stories. We tell ourselves stories about what we're capable of, stories about what we deserve, stories about what's possible. But here's the thing about stories. We can change them. We can write new ones. We can choose different endings. Every significant achievement in history started with someone who had doubts but took action anyway. Every successful person you admire has felt the same doubts you're feeling right now. The difference isn't in the presence or absence of doubt. It's in what they chose to do despite it. Think about this. What if doubt isn't your enemy? What if it's actually a tool for growth? What if every time you feel doubt, it's simply highlighting an area where you need to develop, learn, or strengthen yourself? When doubt tells you you're not qualified, maybe it's pointing you toward the skills you need to develop. When it says you're not ready, maybe it's showing you where you need to prepare. When it whispers you might fail, maybe it's inviting you to plan more thoroughly. The key is to stop letting doubt be the end of the conversation. Let it be the beginning. Let it be the question that leads to action, not the excuse that leads to inaction. Your relationship with doubt determines the size of your life. It determines whether you'll live in the vast expanse of possibility or the cramped quarters of certainty. It determines whether you'll be the author of your story or merely a character in someone else's. Let's talk about something that few people understand about doubt. It often masquerades as intelligence. It presents itself as careful consideration, as due diligence, as smart planning. But there's a crucial difference between thoughtful analysis and perpetual hesitation, between preparation and procrastination. The most damaging form of doubt isn't the loud, obvious fear that screams, "Don't do it." It's the quiet, persistent voice that says, "Not yet." It's the voice that keeps you in perpetual preparation mode, always getting ready but never actually beginning. Always learning but never doing. Always planning but never executing. Here's what might shake you. You will never feel completely ready. Never. The people you admire, the ones who've achieved what you dream of achieving, they weren't ready either. They just started anyway. They understood that action creates clarity. That movement creates momentum. That courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Think about the technology you use every day. The smartphone in your pocket, the internet that connects you to the world, the transportation that moves you from place to place. None of these existed until someone decided to push through their doubts and try something that had never been done before. But doubt doesn't just affect the big innovations, it affects the small daily choices that ultimately shape our lives. The decision to speak up in a meeting, the choice to start a difficult conversation, the commitment to make a change in your health, your relationships, your career. Every time you let doubt win in these small moments, you're training yourself to retreat. You're strengthening the neural pathways that lead to inaction. You're building a habit of surrender rather than a habit of courage. Consider this. What if everything you want is on the other side of doubt? What if doubt isn't a wall but a door that opens to everything you've ever dreamed of achieving? Would you let that door remain closed just because you're uncertain about what lies beyond it? The most successful people in any field aren't those who never doubt. They're those who act despite their doubts. They've learned to use doubt as fuel rather than letting it become a barrier. They understand that doubt is often a sign that they're pushing their boundaries, expanding their comfort zone, growing into their potential. Start seeing doubt as a growth indicator. When you feel doubt, instead of retreating, ask yourself, what is this doubt trying to teach me? What skill do I need to develop? What knowledge do I need to acquire? What action do I need to take? The greatest tragedy isn't failing after trying. It's never knowing what might have been possible, because doubt kept you from trying at all. It's reaching the end of your life and realizing that your biggest regrets aren't the failures you experienced, but the attempts you never made. Think about the dreams you've abandoned because of doubt, the goals you've given up on, the potential you've left unexplored. Now, imagine if you could go back and encourage your younger self. What would you say? Would you tell them to listen to their doubts, to play it safe, to stay small? Or would you tell them to be brave, take the chance, to believe in themselves even when doubt whispers that they're not enough? You can't go back and change the past, but you can be that voice of encouragement for yourself right now. You can be the one who says yes when doubt says no. You can be the one who takes action when fear says wait. There's something profound about doubt. It often grows stronger the closer you get to breakthrough. Just when you're about to achieve something significant, doubt intensifies. It's like the last push in a workout. The hardest part comes right before the breakthrough. Understanding this pattern can help you persist when doubt is at its strongest. When you feel overwhelmed by doubt, it might not be a sign to stop. It might be a sign that you're closer than ever to achieving your goal. Think about a time when you pushed through doubt and succeeded. Remember how the doubt felt insurmountable before you took action, but manageable once you were in motion. Remember how the very thing you doubted became the thing you were most proud of. The relationship between doubt and action is like a seesaw. As one rises, the other falls. The more you act, the less power doubt has over you. The more you prove to yourself that you can handle uncertainty, the less threatening that uncertainty becomes. Let's talk about something rarely discussed: the compound effect of overcoming doubt. Each time you push through doubt and take action, you're not just achieving a specific goal. You're building a foundation of confidence that will serve you in every area of your life. When you learn to handle doubt in one area, that skill transfers to others. When you prove to yourself that you can start a business despite doubt, you become more capable of handling doubt in your relationships. When you push through doubt in your fitness journey, you become more resilient to doubt in your career. But here's the catch: this compound effect works both ways. Every time you let doubt win, you're not just affecting that one decision, you're reinforcing a pattern of surrender. You're teaching yourself that doubt is right, that play it safe is the best option, that staying in your comfort zone is the smart choice. Consider this. What if the very things you're most afraid of, failure, rejection, looking foolish, are actually the experiences you need most? What if these challenges aren't obstacles to your success, but stepping stones toward it? The most successful people aren't those who never fail. They're those who aren't paralyzed by the possibility of failure. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a component of success. They see doubt not as a stop sign, but as a yield sign. Reminder to proceed with awareness, but proceed nonetheless. Here's a powerful truth about doubt. It often shows up strongest when you're about to do something important, when you're about to make a change that could transform your life, when you're about to step into your true potential. Doubt isn't just fear of failure. It's fear of success. Because success means change. It means responsibility. It means becoming someone new. And part of you, the part that's comfortable with who you are now, resists that change. That resistance manifests as doubt. Think about the dreams you have right now, the goals you want to achieve, the person you want to become. Now ask yourself, what would happen if you approached those dreams with the same certainty you feel about your ability to walk or breathe? What if you could see doubt for what it really is? Not a prediction of failure, but a sign that you're pushing your boundaries, not a warning to stop, but an invitation to grow. The most dangerous form of doubt isn't the kind that makes you question your abilities. It's the kind that makes you question your worth, the kind that whispers, who are you to try this? Who are you to want more? Who are you to think you could succeed? But here's the truth. You don't need permission to pursue your dreams. You don't need to prove yourself worthy of success. Your desires, your ambitions, your dreams, they are evidence enough of your potential. Every great achievement in human history started with someone who had doubts but acted anyway. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every step forward in human progress came from people who felt the same doubts you're feeling right now. The difference wasn't in their circumstances, their talents, or their opportunities. The difference was in their response to doubt. Instead of letting doubt be the end of their story, they made it the beginning. What if the presence of doubt in your life isn't a bug? It's a feature. What if doubt isn't trying to stop you? It's trying to prepare you. What if doubt isn't your enemy? It's your ally in disguise. When doubt makes you question whether you can handle failure, it's pushing you to develop resilience. When it makes you question whether you're prepared enough, it's pushing you to develop competence. When it makes you question whether you deserve success, it's pushing you to develop self-worth. The key is to stop seeing doubt as something to eliminate and start seeing it as something to harness. To stop trying to silence the voice of doubt and start using it as a catalyst for growth. Here's a powerful exercise. The next time doubt shows up, don't fight it. Don't try to push it away. Instead, get curious about it. Ask it questions. What are you trying to teach me? What do I need to learn? What action do I need to take? Transform your relationship with doubt by understanding this fundamental truth. Doubt isn't a wall, it's a doorway. Every time you feel doubt, you're standing at the threshold of opportunity. The only question is whether you'll retreat or step through. Let me share something powerful about the nature of achievement. Everything feels impossible until it's done. Every skill seems unattainable until it's mastered. Every goal appears unreachable until it's accomplished. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't filled with ability. It's filled with action. Think about the most successful moments in your life, the times when you achieved something significant. Were you completely free of doubt when you started? Or did you succeed not because doubt was absent, but because your commitment was stronger than your doubt? Is what most people don't realize about success. It's not about eliminating doubt. It's about developing the strength to act despite it. It's about building the resilience to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. It's about trusting that clarity comes through action, not before it. The most dangerous lie doubt tells us is that we need to feel ready before we begin, that we need to feel confident before we take action, that we need to have everything figured out before we start. But readiness is a myth. Confidence is a result, not a prerequisite. Clarity comes from engagement, not contemplation. Consider this. Rest. Every expert was once a beginner. Every success story started with uncertainty. Every breakthrough began with someone who wasn't sure they could do it, but tried anyway. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't the presence or absence of doubt. It's their response to it. Your doubts don't define you. Your actions do. Your fears don't determine your future. Your choices do. Your uncertainties don't limit your potential. Your beliefs do. And the beautiful thing about beliefs is that they can be changed. They can be strengthened. They can be rebuilt. Here's a truth that might transform your perspective. Doubt isn't personal. It's not a reflection of your worth or your potential. It's simply a natural response to stepping outside your comfort zone. The bigger the step, the stronger the doubt. But that doesn't make the doubt, right? It just makes it normal. Think about the cost of letting doubt win. Not just the immediate cost of missed opportunities, but the compound cost over time. The relationships never formed, the businesses never started, the lives never changed. The potential never realized. When you let doubt stop you, you're not just saying no to an opportunity. You're saying no to all the possibilities that opportunity might have led to. But here's the good news. Just as the cost of doubt compounds over time, so does the reward of overcoming it. Each time you push through doubt, you build confidence. Each time you take action despite uncertainty, you develop resilience. Each time you face your fears, you expand your capacity for courage. The question isn't whether you'll feel doubt. You will. The question is whether you'll let that doubt define your limits or drive your growth. Whether you'll let it be a barrier or use it as a bridge. Whether you'll let it stop you or strengthen you. Remember this, the size of your life is directly proportional to your willingness to act in the face of doubt. The impact you have, the success you achieve, the difference you make, all of these are determined not by your doubts, but by your response to them. Your future self is watching you right now, watching to see what you'll do with your doubts, watching to see whether you'll let them stop you or spur you forward, watching to see whether you'll choose comfort or growth, safety or possibility, limitation or potential. The choice is yours, the power is yours, the future is yours, but only if you're willing to feel the doubt and act anyway. Only if you're willing to step through the door of uncertainty into the realm of possibility. Only if you're willing to trade the comfort of certainty for the thrill of becoming everything you're capable of being. It's not your enemy, it's not your friend, it's simply a challenge. A challenge that asks, how badly do you want it? How far are you willing to go? How much are you willing to grow? Your answer to these questions, not in words, but in actions, will determine everything. It will determine whether your dreams remain dreams or become reality. Whether your potential remains potential or becomes achievement. Whether your life remains as it is or becomes everything it could be. What the arm is now. The only question is, what will you do with your doubt? Will you let it stop you or will you let it strengthen you? Will you let it define your limits or will you let it drive your growth? Will you let it be the end of your story? Or will you make it the beginning of your transformation? Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. But only if you let it. The power to choose differently is yours. Right here, right now. The future is waiting. Your dreams are waiting. Your potential is waiting. What are you waiting for?